QSD from the Denver Radio Club. Welcome to the Denver Radio Club Net, being held on repeater W0TX. This is a meeting held on the air every Sunday evening at about 8:30 p.m. Good evening. My name is Jim. My call sign is Kilo Zero, Tango Oscar Romeo. I'll be your net control station transmitting from Littleton, Colorado. If there's any emergency or priority traffic during this net, say break, at any pause, the net will be suspended until the emergency or priority traffic is completed. This net is for Denver Radio Club members and all interested radio amateurs. We're here to share information concerning any ham-related activities. Regular meetings of the Denver Radio Club are held on the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. And still dealing with the COVID-19 restrictions, we have virtual meetings, and we use Google Meets. And if you're interested in joining us any Sunday night, if you're on our mailing list, you'll get an email that tells you the access codes. And if not, you can get those from our website, www.W0TangoXray.org. And next meeting is going to be on July the 21st. And Elmer session is held at 6 p.m. just prior to our monthly meeting. And this session addresses any amateur radio questions that you might have. So whether you're new to amateur radio or interested in some new application of amateur radio, this is a session where you can get help. Also, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., except the third Wednesday when our monthly meeting is held, there's a learning net held on 145.490 megahertz and 448.625 megahertz. This is another area where you can find answers for your amateur radio-related questions. As a general interest club, we provide emergency communication for the Salvation Army, City of Wheat Ridge Police Department, City of Lakewood Police Department, West Metro Fire District, and St. Anthony's West Hospital. We're always looking for members who would like to participate in this support. Please contact our club president if you'd like to help. Our current president is Jerry Vilhauer, W0GB. Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club website address is www.W0TX.org. Again, Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. I'll be deviating somewhat from our regular procedure here. Our club president, Jerry Vilhauer, has got a conflict tonight, so he's asked to give his report early on. And so we'll turn the net over to Jerry Vilhauer, W0GB. Go ahead, Jerry. The net is yours.
Hey, Jim. Thank you for doing the net. And like Jim said, I've got something else going on here this evening. So just want to make sure I had the opportunity as club president to thank everybody that helped with field day. I'm sure Jerome's going to have more, and I don't want to steal his thunder, but we had a good field day. We had some hiccups like we always do. Band conditions were poor. We had a lot of visitors, but pretty much 20 meters was our moneymaker, and we could have done a lot more demonstration if we'd had better band conditions. But you get what you get, you know. And but I just wanted to especially thank Jim and Barb Stewart and Jerome for getting the vehicles out there from Salvation Army, and then of course when it's all over and everybody's tired, you got to get them back. So they did all that. Thanks to them for that. Mark Thomas for helping us get the site, which worked out quite well. We did have some rain and so forth, but we had a couple technical difficulties, but that's what it's all about when you set up out in the field. So we recovered from everything, and it went well. So thanks to everybody that helped set up and helped tear down, and Jim and Barb for running the canteen. That's probably the hardest job because it lasts the longest. So providing us with food and drink and all. So just want to get that in, and if you participated, thank you. If you didn't, we'll try to make it next year. And anyway, back to you, Jim. W0GV.
All right, thanks very much, Jerry. We'll have some comments about field day a little later. Wait till Drone has a chance to give us his comments, and then I'll provide my comments as well. But appreciate everything. Seemed like things went well. So if you missed it, sorry. Hopefully you'll come with us next year when we have it again. So, all right, let me proceed with my normal procedure here. The Denver Radio Club also participates in the ARRL Voluntary Examiner Program. If you have a need for VE testing, we usually get those announcements out on this net, and we don't have our VE testing as often as we had in the past because of COVID, and that requires that we get adequate space between those taking exams, and so we try to pass that information here by this net, and also we always list that on our website. And as well, we'll have other clubs in the area here which actually also do VE testing, and they make their announcements on here as well. So if you need some testing, just stick with us and try and see if we can't get you what you need. If you have other questions regarding VE testing, you can certainly call our VE team lead, Tom Koszalski, and Tom's call is KC2CAG, and his number is 720-284-1911. This is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K0TR serving as net control. Are there any special announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? If so, please call now. Before regular check-ins, I'd like to welcome and invite any visiting radio amateurs to check into the Denver Radio Club Net this evening. During this net, we disable the requirement for the 100 Hz pale repeater access tone, so you can use either 145.490 megahertz with a minus 600 kilohertz offset, or 448.625 megahertz with a minus 5 megahertz offset. Are they visiting radio amateurs who'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Net this evening? If so, please call now.
Whiskey Bravo 0, Alpha Kilo Victor, WB0, AKV, Rich in Westminster.
And net control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome following check-in. WB0 AKV Rich, welcome to the net, and just curious as to how did you find us?
Well, I work for the Salvation Army, so I went out and helped deploy the crank-up tower before field day started Saturday morning. And saw on your website about the net tonight, and thought I'd just check in and say hi real quick. WB0 AKV.
Very well. Well, I got to apologize because I was asked by one of our well-known guys at Salvation Army, Ian, that I could keep an eye out for you, which I did. And I saw you were in conversation with somebody else, and I'm sorry, but I got called off, and I was not able to introduce myself, so I apologize for that. But glad to have you visit out to Field Day, and glad to have you on the net this evening. And we certainly would invite you to join us any Sunday evening. Enjoy having you. So sorry that I missed my opportunity to meet you, though, but I did see you, and so I can vouch for you. You were there. So very good. I'll switch it back to you if you got any other comments. Please come now.
No problem on that. No problem. I had a great time and enjoyed seeing the tower again. Always like to refresh my memory, if it's only once a year. If I ever did have to deploy that for TSA, then at least I'd know a little bit of how to do it. But had a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys inviting me and making me feel welcome out there. So I'll let you continue on with the net, WB0AKV.
Well, very good, Rich. Appreciate you being there and giving us a hand as well. So look forward to having a chance to introduce myself some point later, I guess. But certainly glad to have you join us this evening, and join us any Sunday night that you'd like. Glad to have you do that. Let me make one more call. Do we have any other visitors that would like to join the Denver Radio Club Net this evening? If so, please call out. All right, next I'd like to welcome and invite any newly licensed or recently upgraded radio amateurs to check in. Please call now. I will now take regular check-ins in groups, and please let me know if you have traffic when you check in, and I'll get back to you. First, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
W0TX Whiskey 0 Bravo Kilo Sierra. This is Barb again. Wheat Ridge, no traffic.
And 0 ETV, Lance, Aurora, no traffic.
November 0 DBS, Dawn in Denver, no traffic.
W0TX Repeater.
Kilo Sierra 0 Echo, KS0E, Alex in Denver.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Alpha Foxtrot Quebec, Troy, Denver.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Bromfield.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. W0BKS Barb, N0ETV Lance, N0DBS Don, KS0E Alex, KF0AFQ Troy, and AF0E Alex. Make a second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
This is Kilo 1, Delta Bravo Charlie K1 DBC Drone with traffic.
KA5 DKS Ken
net control, like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K0 DPR Paul, K1 DBC Drone with traffic, and KA5 DKS Ken. Move on down the alphabet, and radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now.
N0 GWM, Leon and Lakewood.
Whiskey 0, India Bravo Alpha, Eric Mobile in Denver, no traffic.
Kilo 6 Hotel Juliet Victor, K6HJV Tom, Arvada, no traffic.
November 0 Foxtrot Alpha Kilo, Rich, Aurora, no traffic.
November 0 Golf Tango Golf Kurt, in Denver, no traffic.
If you have any interest, this is the website reddit.com/r/amateur radio. I'll put a link in the chat here.
N0 GWM Leon, AF0E Alex, K6HKV Tom, and I don't know if I got your call right, Rich, N0AFK. Did I get that right or did I mess it up?
November 0 Foxtrot Alpha Kilo, Rich.
All right, thank you. November 0 Foxtrot Alpha Kilo. Appreciate that. I thought it didn't look right when I wrote it down here, so thanks for that. And next I had N0 GTG Kurt. Move on down the alphabet. And radio amateurs. Well, no, I got to make another call here yet. We'll stay with radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin with letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Second call, please call now.
Whiskey 0, India Bravo Alpha, Eric Mobile in Denver, no traffic.
And net control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. W0IBA Eric. Now we'll move it down the alphabet and go to radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin with the letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
Kilo 0 Kilo Papa Sugar, Kevin Lakewood. Kilo Echo 0 Oscar Sierra India, Tom Himes Ranch.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Echo X-Ray Juliet, Dan in Lakewood.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Foxtrot 0 Yankee. KD0 NRO, Reed in Arvada.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome upon and check-ins. K0 KPS Kevin, KE0 OSI Tom, and Dan, sorry, I completely missed the call. If you come back with that, please.
That sounded like a double in a lot of things there.
Well, I don't know what I got there, but I got all kinds of hash noise and a little everything. So see if you can try it again. It was much cleaner the first time, Dan, so give it another try.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Echo X-Ray Juliet KF0EXJ. Thanks.
That was the wrong one.
All right, that one came through loud and clear. KF0EXJ Dan. And that was my fault. I just been a long weekend here, but we'll get through it, I guess. And I had another one that came in after Dan that, boy, I don't know, it seemed like I was getting one or two syllables at a time and then nothing. So if I don't call your call, it's what happened. Something was breaking up there. And then lastly, I had KD0 NRO read. So if I didn't call your call, that's what happened. I'm not sure what was going on with the transmission. All right, let's make a second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin in letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
W0TX Repeater.
All right, we'll move on down to the alphabet. And radio amateurs whose call suffixes beginning in the letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now.
Kilo Echo 0, Romeo Victor Zulu, John, in Lakewood, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0, Sierra Uniform Mike, Jonathan, Lakewood, no traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
Yeah, he called another Dan. I was like, well, that wasn't the right Dan he called. Which Dan did he?
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome upon and check-ins. KE0 RVC John, KE0 s.t.e.m Jonathan, and N0 TRP Jim. Make second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now. All right, moving down the alphabet, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now.
KF0UV, Marshall in Glendale.
Kilo Delta 0.
Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Kilo Victor, Bill in Lakewood.
November 0, X-Ray, Romeo X-Ray, Mark in Arvada.
This is the guy right here.
W0CIV, WD0CIV, Charles in Denver.
Kilo Delta Zero Whiskey Papa Quebec, Tom in Aurora, no traffic.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KF0 UV Marshall. And next I got KD0W, and it dropped right out, so I don't know what happened. Could you come back to me, please?
KD0WPQ, Tom in Aurora, no traffic.
Alrighty, that's strange. I don't know what happened first time, Tom, but KD0W came through good. At KD0WPQ, got that with Tom. And next I had KE0YKV Bill, N0XRX Mark, WD0CIV Charles, and Tom, I got WDQ, but I missed the prefix. Could you come back with that, please?
That was KD0WPQ, Kilo Delta Zero Whiskey Papa Quebec, Tom in Aurora, and my battery died the first time.
All right, KD0WPQ, Tom. Understand? That does happen to us. So. All right, let me make a second call for radio amateurs whose call suffix says begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call out. All right, we'll open up the entire alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffix says begin letters A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call out.
I'll get you checked in now, Dan. This is K1DBC, actually with a help for a call that was trying to call in earlier. It was Dan, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Sierra Yankee. No traffic.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. KF0 FSY, Dan. And there'll be a chance for late check-ins a little later in the net. And those that got on a little late might have missed our Club President Jerry Billhauer's report. He had a conflict tonight, so he had to give his report early on the net. So at this time, I'd like to turn the net over to K1DBC Drone to give us his report and how the things went with field day. Go ahead, Drone. Net's yours.
All right, let's go here. Thank you, K02RR. Jim, this is K1DBC, Field Day Chairperson. Yeah, I wanted to thank everyone for coming out here. I had just closed what I needed. Let me drop for a moment here. Sorry about that. This is, again, Daron, K1DBC Field Day Chairperson. Yeah, thanks for everyone for another awesome field day, whether it be operators, volunteers, and any other participants. We are incredibly grateful to have so many people willing to help and participate in so many different capacities. We also can't forget to thank the agencies who essentially sponsored this event through infrastructure, assets, and meals. Our served agency is the Salvation Army, the emergency, more specifically, the Intermountain Emergency Disaster Services group headed up by Ian Anderson. He is a ham radio operator too as well, K02IAN. And he is the director there at the Emergency Services. So a lot of support from him with the vehicles and the food. Let's see. Canteen vehicle, command vehicle, crank-up tower, radio, as well as food. Both Barb, as mentioned, W0BKS and Jim K0TRR provided great help with vehicle transport and food service. I'll go ahead and drop for a moment.
W0TX Repeater.
Another big thanks to another agency, Denver Water. More info on them at denverwater.org. They ensure continuous supply of water to the city and county of Denver and nearly 50% of Denver Water customers who live in the surrounding suburbs. More specifically, and as well as the Denver Water Amateur Radio Club and Mark Thomas, N0XRX, Director of IT at Denver Water. He provided an immense amount of support with event planning and coordination, as well as a dizzying array of infrastructure, equipment, and general support and knowledge. I also want to thank anyone who operated, volunteered, and helped out and or stepped up in any capacity. This event could not have taken place without everyone's help. We had quite a few visitors and youth. Really nice to see that. Thanks to everyone who provided help to them as well. I'll drop once more here. This is K1DBC, and I apologize. I know some of the information was on my website and it wasn't working Saturday morning. I got a temporary solution set up. At this point, though, if you do visit my website, k1dbc.com, Kilo 1, Delta Bravo Charlie.com. It's also on the W0TX webpage, a link to that. There's some basic info of where you can upload photos if you would like. We have a Google Drive with past years as well as this year's event. So if you want to take a look and see what's happened, if you have any photos, videos, please don't hesitate to upload them to that Google Drive link. Feel free to also email it to me if you'd like. Once everything is provided, I will put things together into a video and put it up on YouTube. Also have some statistics here real quick. Let's see. So sign-ins, we had, the ed is uploaded. I scanned that in. We had about 50 or 60. A few weren't signed in, unfortunately, but I know there were quite a bit, as well as if you had written down any scratch paper notes for operators logs, I had uploaded that as well. Let me drop once more here. Some quick statistics. We had a total of 282 contacts made between 40 meters, 20 meters, and 15 meters. We had 74% of that was done on the 20-meter band. We had a lot of people operating those radios, and really appreciate that. Total contacts by section, just a few here. The most was Northern Texas, NTX, with 8%, followed by Ohio, Michigan, Oklahoma, Colorado, Illinois, Missouri. So let's see, preliminary points from ARRL were at 1,474 points, to include operating under emergency power, having public location, youth participation, social media, etc., etc. I think I have just a few more things here, so I'll drop once more and wrap things up. Let's see. Very, really just small things here. Somebody left a raincoat in the comm vehicle, as well as somebody also left a silver water bottle. So if you're missing those and you'd like those back, please let me know. Again, thanks everyone for participating in Field Day. Again, this event can't take place without your support, and it turned out really, really well, and I'm really happy to put it on and hope to do it again in the future. I guess with that, I'll put it out to the net. Does anyone have any comments, questions in regards to Field Day that took place this weekend? Go ahead.
comment there, Jerome?
Sure, sounds good. K02R, go ahead.
I didn't get a chance to participate that much in the field day itself with trying to handle the food preps and such, but a couple of things that really struck me that I was pleased about. We saw a good deal of young people that are coming into the hobby, and we certainly like to see that. And the other that was, I'm sure, a struggle for them, but we all have to start someplace, and that is those that want to take a chance to sit down and work field day and make some contacts, and it gets to be a challenge at the beginning, but things come to you along. So if you didn't make it out, you had an excellent opportunity to get on and give it a try and see what it's all about. And that's what field day is all about. We all start at some place and gradually build up to getting more and more experience on just how is the best way to make contact calls and such, and pass the information back and forth. But that's all good training in regards to should we have an emergency and get into the practice of how that's accomplished. So thanks to all those that came out, especially the younger people. Glad to see you out, and glad to see you willing to step up and get on the air and give it a shot. So good job. Now I'll pass it back to Drone SK1, or back to Drone K1 DBC, this K02R.
All right, sounds good. K02R, this is K1 DBC. Yeah, I was especially excited to see that. We had quite a few youth there today, whether it be some through individual contact of the club, just general interest of the hobby, and some daughters and friends and sons of members, things like that. So it was incredibly nice to see that. And I was super excited to be able to help out as much as I could, and as anyone else that was able to help out, show people around and get people into the hobby. So yeah, it was really exciting. I'm really glad everyone is able to make it out who could. And if you couldn't, we're sad to see you wouldn't be able there. But again, we'll be putting a bunch of media up online and let you know what's going on there. So I guess one last time, anybody else have any other comments, questions, anything in regards to this field day? Actually, before that, if you did operate remotely and would like to give credit to the Denver Radio Club, you can submit your contacts to myself in whatever format you have, or upload them to field-day.arrl.org and associate it with the Denver Radio Club. I guess with that, though, I'll throw out once more out.
KE0SUM question.
Yeah, SUM, go ahead.
Well, field day, all operations are portable, so I was curious about two things. What kind of power you were using, what kind of batteries, and what kind of radios you were using, exactly how much power you were putting out. You can kind of condense that, Jerome, if you want. KE0SUM, back to net.
No problem at all. I should take an inventory now that you ask that. I'm looking at a photo of our 20-meter station, which happened to be a Yaesu FTDX-10 with a nice waterfall display on it and built-in software-defined radio. Our 40-meter station, I couldn't remember the maker model, and then there was another station I couldn't maker model as well. I believe most of us were operating on 100 watts. This was all done on generator power, either from the Salvation Army command vehicle, and or separate other generators, and or from the canteen vehicle. So yeah, gas generators were for power, 100 watts, max power, and yeah, the radios were varying. There'll be some good photos, and I'll try to really get some good descriptions of the antennas we use. We have a tri-band beam, I think, or a tri-band beam, and there was another vertical ground antenna. I'll have to find the specifics on this, but that's a great question there, Jonathan. So I'll throw it back to you. I'll be able to provide within the next week some better technical specifications about the equipment we used. This is K1DBC. Back to I forgot to call there. Sorry, it's K1DBC.
W0TX repeater.
Oh, SUM, Jonathan.
No, thanks for the Mr. Drone, it's just fascinating. I couldn't participate. I had to work on Saturday, and this morning I actually participated as a ham radio operator with the Intermountain Repeater Group and did the Mount Evans road race where people run up and down Mount Evans. And I was emergency aid station number 2, but I'll look forward to seeing the photos. KE0SUM, back to net.
This is KE0YKV.
Yeah, KE0YKV, go ahead.
Yes, the 40-meter radio was an ICOM. I don't know the model number, but I remember seeing ICOM on the panel as I stared at it.
Perfect, an ICOM. Yeah, I can dig that up. I believe I have that model number. Yeah, thanks for the follow-up on that, YKV. Okay, so with that, though, I guess I'll give it back to Net Control. Yeah, this is K1DBC. I help host the Wednesday night Learning Net, same frequency, 7:30 p.m. here. So we'll probably discuss Field Day a bit more at that point. But again, if you have any media photos, don't hesitate to throw them up on the Google Drive link. That's on my website, K1DBC. You can view past years as well. Yeah, it was a pleasure. It was a lot of fun. I hope people had fun, and we'll try to do it again next year. So with that, this is K1DBC, throwing it back to Net Control, K0TOR.
All right, thanks very much, K1DBC. This is K0TOR. Thanks very much for your all your work in putting it together in such drone. Things went well, and I think there was a lot of people that had a good time. I saw a lot of them, and I didn't have that much time to spend at some of the stations, but enjoyable. So thanks again, and I don't see anyone else that checked in that said they had traffic. This is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K0TOR, your net control station. Does anyone have any other comments, information, or business for the net? If so, please call out. WD0CIV, Charles, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just mentioning on the field day. When I was there, everybody was talking about the younger hams and stuff. Anyway, I also noticed and actually talked to a lot of people that it was the first field day operation that they've ever been to. So everything was like really brand new to them. And I'm thinking, when I was talking to them, and they would ask questions, and I would try to answer the questions that I knew about, and if I didn't know the answer, then I would kind of direct them to the actual radio site that had the people that could answer the question. But anyway, I just thought that was really great that we had people that had never been to a field day and actually found the place and showed up and everything. Anyway, I thought it went really great. He got in touch with nature, firsthand there, and operating in conditions that normally you probably wouldn't see that often. But anyway, it was great. Had a lot of fun. Sorry I didn't make down to help take down the towers or anything, but we got sidetracked with stuff around here, and anyway, that had to get done before I could do anything. So anyway, this is WD0CIB. We're going to go ahead and turn it back to Net Control. Thanks a lot for the field day.
WD0CIV, Charles. Appreciate that. This is K0TOR. And yeah, that's a good observation as well. I can remember back quite a few years I went to my first field day, and I was in awe as well. So got hooked. So I guess one has to be a little careful. So it's an enjoyable time, and lots of good opportunities to meet and chat with other hams and compare notes and such. So a lot of fun experienced by all. So, all right, before I move on, let me make one more call. Is there anyone else that has any other comments, information, or business for the net? Please call now. All right, do we have any late check-ins? Please call now. I'll now review the next weekend's contest and upcoming Hamfest, and we'll cover the upcoming Hamfest first. With COVID, still don't see any Hamfest on the calendar, so keep a close eye on it and see when, hopefully we got one we can get out and, again, enjoy the face-to-face meetings, get a chance to visit with our fellow hams on a face-to-face basis. So, upcoming contests, let's see. First one I have on the list is the W0TX RTTY contest. That begins on July the 3rd at 1100 hours Zulu, goes to July 4th until 10:59 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that is a digital contest. Next, we have the Marconi Memorial HF contest. That begins on July 3rd at 1400 hours Zulu, goes through July 4th until 1400 hours Zulu. That's on 160 through 10 meters, and that is a CW contest. Next, we have the original QRP contest. That begins on July 3rd at 1500 hours Zulu, go through July 4th until 1500 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 20 meters, and that's a CW contest. And lastly, we have the PODX S070 Club 40-meter firecracker sprint. That begins on July 3rd at 2000 hours Zulu, goes through July 4th until 2000 hours Zulu. That is on 40 meters, and that is a digital contest. A couple other reminders. The High Noon Net, they meet daily at 12 noon with early check-ins begin at 11:30. They meet on a frequency of 7.240 megahertz, which is on a 40-meter band. And the Salvation Army Saturn Net, they meet at 1500 hours Zulu, and that's 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. They meet Monday through Saturday on a frequency of 14.265 megahertz, which is on the 20-meter band. The Denver Radio Club maintains the following repeaters for use by all radio amateurs. The 147.330 megahertz with a positive offset, the 145.490 megahertz with a negative offset, the 224.380 megahertz with a negative offset, the 449.350 megahertz with a negative offset, the 448.625 megahertz with a negative offset, the 447.825 megahertz with a negative offset. Our digital turbo repeater operating on Brandmeister on 446.7875 megahertz with a negative offset, and our C4 FM digital repeater on 449.775 megahertz with a negative offset. The 447.825 megahertz repeater is configured for narrowband FM, and that requires a digital coded squelch of 073. There are two repeaters on 147.330 megahertz. Repeater in Lakewood requires a 100 hertz PL tone, and the second repeater located east near Franktown requires a 131.8 hertz PL tone. We have a second repeater on the same frequency out east to improve coverage along the Front Range and into the canyons. However, having two repeaters on the same frequency, we ask that have two different frequency propagations. We ask that you monitor the frequency to ensure neither is in use prior to making your call. The 449.350 megahertz repeater provides wide area coverage And this repeater hosts our Echolink station, W0TX, node number 4140. And the 448.625 megahertz repeater is linked with the 145.490 megahertz repeater. The repeater on 449.775 is now a C4 FM digital-only repeater. Each repeater requires a 100 hertz field tone for activation, except as noted, and each uses standard offsets. And for packet, we have the 145.050 megahertz gateway on 2 meters that is interconnected with the 14.105 megahertz gateway on 20 meters for packet QSO. And we have a 6-meter repeater on 53.09 megahertz with an input on 52.09 megahertz with the required 107.2 hertz field tone. Your support of the Denver Radio Club is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to participate in any of the many club activities, please contact our club president, Jerry Billhauer, W0GV. And I'd like to take this opportunity to again welcome our visitor, WB0AKV Rich. Glad to have you join us here on the net. And please feel free to drop in any Sunday evening. I'm always glad to have you. And I'd like to thank everyone for checking into the Denver Radio Club Net tonight. Your support is greatly appreciated. I hope you have a great week. 7-3. And tonight we had a total of 32 check-ins. And the Denver Radio Club W0TX Net is now closed at 9:22. And the repeater is available for regular use. This is K0TR, your net control station. And please stand by a moment while I return the PL tone to the repeater.
PL on.
And this is K0TR. I'll be clear and good night to all.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
0XRX, KE0SUM. You still listening, Mark?
Thanks, everyone, for joining in here. And I'll let this conversation go. See y'all when we see you. Take care.
Live in Lakewood, and I just love good call signs. So I had plenty